Hey guys, gonna do a quick how-to on replacing the thrust bearings for the Mk5 airlift suspension. This may be the same setup for other cars, but I just hadn't found one on the Airlift Slam series. I found it on some of the race series and whatnot, but I wanted to do a video so that anybody else that was trying to do one would have the information on how to do it. All right, so we already got the bag off the car. There's already a bunch of write-ups on how to install and uninstall your suspension from your car. The main things we got to start with is the 19 mil nut on top, the 1/4 inch Allen on the inside there, and of course the Allens on the bottom that hold the bag assembly to the strut. You can hit this with an impact, but the shaft will turn. You can hit it a couple of times and try to get this nut to loosen just enough so you can get your Allen in there and hit it with a wrench. Okay, next up you've got a ring here. Now in the instructions that come with the airlift service bulletin, it says unclip the retaining ring from the upper mount assembly by locating the end of the clip and prying it out of the groove. So we use a little flathead here, find the end of it. Don't know how well the exposure is going to show up there for you guys, but once I get it started, you'll know on your own. Alright, as you can see there, kind of coming up already. It's like a spiral clip. And that's off, just to get a better visual of how it works there. So, spiral guy there. All right, so now that just pops off. So the assembly, the number 3 in the number 4 in the diagram is the thrust, the top part of the thrust bearing. Fits right there on top. So lay this aside. Now here's the spot where a lot of folks will say, how the hell do I get this out of there? I've seen people beat on this and beat the hell out of their threads and pretty much rendering the strut itself unusable. Flip around to this side and we've got another hex here. Let's see what size we are. And we're gonna be 5/32. That's pretty good. This of course is quite annoying because I've got metric everything and the only standard set that I've got of Allen's is this multi-set. But it threads in pretty easily. You can bring it out by hand once you loosen it. And this retaining clip here comes off. Now the other thrust bearing is it's not pressed on, but it's a little tight. You'll see there's also a little seal back there. And in your diagram, that's gonna be number 6, which is just a spacer. Should be 2 of these, so we've got number 1 and number 2. If you can't get it off, use your flathead, slide in there. And of course, pops right off. You'll notice there's some grease around the edge there. It's best to when you're putting this back together, use some multi-purpose grease. So at this point, we're pretty much ready for our new kit. Got mine in from Under Wraps Automotive. Check them out at shopuwa.com or just Google Under Wraps Automotive. This video is not sponsored by Under Wraps. Just like getting my parts from them, and they're pretty helpful. If you have questions, you can message them, and they'll give you a lot of great info on the parts you're buying. Make sure you get the right stuff first try instead of having to order multiple parts and get the wrong stuff in. Under Wraps Automotive. Now, the cool thing here is Kevin always likes to toss in some swag, so here we've got the under wraps. I don't know if this is supposed to be a necklace or if I'm supposed to hang it from my rearview mirror. Kevin, you can let us know about that. UWA sticker, Hoonigan keychain, and Volkswagen keychain. These are pretty cool. All right, so I also ordered an elbow for my tank. Now, I've already done the other side, so make sure whenever you purchase these that if you're purchasing it, planning to do both sides, order 2 kits because it does not come with enough stuff to do both sides. As you'll see, you get your 2 spacers, the retaining clip, the upper thrust bearing and the lower thrust bearing, which are the same part. It doesn't really matter which side you put them on. Just don't mix these up with your old stuff. Now this is the other cool thing. Airlift, of course, gives you the diagram on how everything's supposed to go together, and the procedure on how to put it together. Let you know what all tools you need. Of course, probably overexposed, but all the instructions you need. And that's what I'm following to make this happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide this guy back together. I'm pressing that down, and you'll see that I've kind of pressed it down a little too far. I'm gonna bring it back out. Maybe compress the bag a little bit. Now, make sure that when you put this back together, that you don't cover the airline hole. It's gotta go on the other side. Right. Get these started by hand. All right, so for these, looks like a 4mm, works pretty good. All right, now we're ready for our new parts. Now, this is probably gonna be a little bit dirty on yours, just like it is on mine. Recommend going ahead and cleaning that off. All right, so we slide both spacers on. Now we put the thrust bearing on with the edge on the outside. We can slide around pretty easily.
And sandwich the strut mount in there. Put your other thrust bearing on top with the raised edge on the inside of the strut mount itself.
Somewhat thread it back on. And the way I did this before is I just kind of lifted and got it seated. And let the rest of it just kind of fall into place. All I'm doing is just kind of running my finger around it. Should snap in there. Seated pretty nicely in there. It's not coming back off, so that's a good sign. All right, now your kit does not come with one of these, so you'll definitely need to save that. Put it back on the way it was before. Thread your nut back on top. Now I'm going to use the electric impact to run it down, see how far down I can get it. Of course, the shaft is turning inside there. So we are going to get our 1/4 inch back out. and you're pretty much done. Unit's ready to go back on the car. Bearing feels pretty good. And now you're done. You put it back together the way you took it off and you're good to go.